posted yesterday though about having some appliances delivered today, so that's where I wondered.
They found a place to live with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I wondered if it wasn't Rick's campus, because that's what I.
No, so it's not Rick's campus.
That's what I figured, because I knew
Yeah.
first. That's what
Where
they
it
said.
is, I don't know, but they got a place already.
That's good.
Somebody comes in here, come here. So they've got a place to live, which thank God that's happening. So it's
Yeah.
it was a blessing in disguise, because if Amy would have been held here today with twins,
That was one.
yeah.
And was they don't know whether it was the blue pipe or the.
Don't know, have no idea. It was fully engulfed when Harvey got there. Every time they thought they got it knocked down, I mean, it was getting knocked down, and all of a sudden moving and just flow right back up.
Yeah.
And you know, that was a really cold day, so I'm sure
Okay.
you stoked the fire before you left.
Yeah, that was cold standing out there.
Oh, I can't imagine.
See, that's Vicky's cousin.
Just do that. But,
Cars out there, so. I guess we're pretty sure. Where the KAC attorney's going. Where the KAC attorney's going.
Mark said,
K88.
Where?
K88.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good.
I kicked that in to you.
I've seen it.
Just do the other.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well, about yourself?
Doing good. Yeah.
I just sent you that other one talking
Feel all better?
Yes. Stuff sticks to me. Good morning.
Good to see you.
How
How
are
are you?
ya? I'm good.
Good to see you.
You too. What you been up to?
Huh?
What you been up to?
My mom had a little heart attack, I guess.
Oh, I did see
Thursday
it.
before last, so I've been up here for, I guess,
She
10
doing
11
okay?
days. Yeah, she seems to be.
Did she get a pacemaker?
She did. She did. Yeah, we're just kind of having a little negotiation about.
Yeah, fun negotiating with parents.
I really appreciate everything that Jackson County has done to enable her to stay in her home for so long, but there certainly becomes a moment where you got to have people in the household with you. I think.
Nice. It's lucky you showed up when you did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I almost didn't go back inside. I showed up and we had a good conversation. You know, Roger Heckerson had passed away,
Right.
so she was really upset about that
Yeah.
for a few weeks. And so we had kind of a conversation that morning about the inevitable.
Right.
And then I went out and ran some errands for her, came back, and she was passed out. So,
Oh my God.
and I almost didn't come back in. So.
Allie?
Hi.
It's warm in here.
Yeah.
We're used to 0 degrees, you know?
Is she home now?
Yeah, now she feels better than she's felt in months. That's the real challenge. I'm fine.
Go back home.
I think Nemaha County women are particularly stubborn, so.
That's all right. You know, she had to be with all those brothers.
I know it. I know it. all those brothers in Cal.
And there you go.
All right, at 9 o'clock, call the meeting to order with pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we have some communications before we get started with anything major. Agenda, never mind, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda? Second?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the agenda as written with the exception of Todd Luckman, who is sick today, so he will not be on the agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we have a letter from Northeast Kansas Environmental Services. They have a wastewater system that is not up to snuff, so I'll pass that down. You can take a look at that. Letter from the Jackson County Fair Board with their 2025 operating financial statement for the year. And they have also included a proposed 2026 budget. With our county appropriation shown there, so I'll pass that down. You'll take a look at it. We'll get to that budget time. What we have here is from the Kansas Department of Finance Authority. It's a letter just advising us that pursuant to statute 74-8901 and provisions of the Internal Revenue Code authorizing a beginning farmer program, that they are issuing an agricultural development revenue bond to finance the acquisition of 111.05 acres for Will A. Heinen, beginning farmer. And you read on down here farther, and it says, repayment of the bond proceeds which are loaned by the lender to the beginning farmer is always the sole obligation of the beginning farmer and never an obligation of the county or state of Kansas. So are we just to be a flow through for this bond? Is that what that is? Okay, so we don't have to do anything other than just note that. Okay, there's that.
So we ever had this before?
This is the first time I've ever seen
We've done it before though, with Kathy, I think we did it once before.
And this is a letter from the United Way, Caw Valley, and Friends of Beck Bookman Library, and they're reaching out to, in regards to Jackson County Junior Leader Reader Program, the JLR. They're asking for donations to put a free book in each elementary school child hand at Holton, Jackson Heights, and Rural Valley, pre-K through 5. And I did this, I actually read this last year, and it was very well received. The kids all loved it. The books they got, the book that you read is the book that they get in the classroom. And like I say, so they're asking for organizations and elected representatives to actually read, and looking for a donation for this. So I'll pass that down to them and take action on that later if we need to. And this is just informational. Okay, this
it. This is the
PO.
one that you approved last week.
Okay, so we also have here the final number for Kurt's UTV that he purchased.
I went out the other day to a cold there and looked at it, and he took me for a ride around his facility in his building. We looked at the building and some of the things he's got going on with it. I tell you, for what he has, he takes such good care. I mean, that building's old, wind's blowing, you can see the curtain moving. That place was as neat as a pin. Equipment was clean, equipment was put up, it's just very well maintained. I just want to say publicly, we're blessed to have him run that place out there. He just takes such pride in what he's doing.
Yes, yeah.
And doesn't complain, about the old building, because it was cold in that building.
Oh yeah.
And it needs some love, so as Dan used to say, but I just wanted to say that it was such it was nice to see how well they take care of everything they have out there.
Yeah.
Just cleaned up, neat, no junk laying around.
That's good. And it looks like we're going to have to find another person to ask for the Northeast Kansas AAA. Lane Henley declined. And we still need to find one for Northeast Kansas multi-health or community member of ours.
That's where Susan Foster was on.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume we can put that on our Facebook page and,
Yeah.
and then share it with all the different social media platforms. And I mean, if there's a volunteer out there, let us know. It's getting harder and harder to
To
find
find
people.
volunteers to do it.
Yeah, find people to volunteer for stuff like this.
Ally?
Volunteer?
Yeah.
I go to enough meetings. But thanks for thinking of me.
All right. Morning.
Morning.
I was gonna see you at the homecoming game.
We were gonna go and then ended up, not going. Yeah. Something came up, so we didn't go. Usually we go.
And I was sitting with Cody, he's like, yeah, keep Cody, this is right there. You like to sit by yourself.
Yeah, I saw Cody at the last game that we were at. I didn't get to talk to him, but wait a minute.
It's nice that you guys are those.
It is.
It doesn't have to, you know, just cheering on the athletes.
Well, and even the game we were at, there was a couple of girls got hurt in the basketball game. He went down, got ice, helped them off the court, got up, got ice to him and stuff. So he sees a need and he takes care of it.
Oh, that's him for sure. And the world needs more Codys.
I would agree. I keep trying to twist his arm to teach.
I know,
He doesn't want
no
to.
desire.
I know.
We got burned somewhere.
But we had a long conversation with him teaching. He would be good at it.
That's for sure.
I just sent you something. Facebook. I don't know if I print it out.
Did the girls win?
In Messenger.
No, that seems lost. They both fought though. The girls seem, I don't know what their name is. They got a really good 45. And when she was playing, they were winning. She got in foul trouble. All the good players got in foul trouble. Well, you know, the bench is so just not very deep. Well,
Did Kiwa have a good game?
I don't know.
Yeah. She would be
The senior?
no, she's sophomore. She's a big girl, tall, plays down low.
Yeah,
I sent that.
Yeah, she got foul trouble.
yeah, she was.
I sent that back for you, and you'll see when I read it.
Yeah.
But I sent it to the other two commissioners.
She sat most of the second half. You know, she was in there, they were winning.
Yeah.
It's,
Thank you. You sent it to the other two.
I'm messing.
Okay. You guys are on Facebook, would you check your messenger? because I just sent something to Christie and had her send it to you that I think we need to look at as far as holding our department that we were talking about last week. And I already sent it to Pat over the weekend, so.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Enjoying the warm-up?
Cool.
It's like anyway.
Brady won't be here tomorrow.
That looks like a better thing to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought when I saw that. So. All right, 9:15. What you got, guys? How are you doing?
Doing good.
Feeling better?
Yes.
Good.
Speaking of that, we've got 6 people sick out there today and three leaving the doctor's appointments this afternoon.
It's going around.
It is. So, here's the bridge report and study.
Okay.
For all of our inspections, so that's your own copy.
All right.
We've got 2 bids for culverts.
Okay, go ahead and hand them down. We'll get them opened up.
So you ready for those?
Sure.
Lines from Wellborn Sales. The total bid of $67,350.97.
Well,
Mine's not totaled, so I'll get after that.
Oh, it's not.
67,357.90.
$67,350.97.
Okay, this, we'll let Christie recalculate this, but, pipe and stormwater, Kansas, Oklahoma, contact engineer solutions is 62,855. Now, I'd like to verify number of tubes and sizes and make sure that they're all.
It should have been, because they went off the same bid sheet, so.
Is there freight involved in either one of these?
Contractors usually they deliver here.
So I'd want to verify, I mean, it's,
I think, doesn't it say on there?
I don't see anything about freight. Total bid is 67.
But up there it
Okay.
says
Yes.
delivered price,
Well, yeah,
and then
What are these?
these on our bid we sent out, said, you know, where we delivered to here.
And I don't have the bands totaled up in here either, so we've got to go through all these bands.
because the band is in my
Yeah, total bands is already in yours. So 64
432,
just for the pipe.
just for the delivered price, yeah.
Okay. Let's go through the bands.
That way they didn't tell me.
You can go ahead and I'll work on this.
Okay.
Give it a report if you want to.
Go ahead.
Got with the SJC last week, we stopped the cleaning out there, we're gonna continue with the work down the recycling. So
Okay.
that'll save us, about $2,800 a year down here for the bridge, so do that. We've been hit up to, you know, if we're gonna do the cleaning, girls would like a stipend, to do that extra work. I sweat and mopped out there, Joe and sweat, so I don't have a problem with cleaning my office on my own. I kind of, you know, we're dirty in the place, like, that'd be where we're gonna clean. I do kind of recall somebody when they first were gonna come out here, saying that they wouldn't mind doing the cleaning as busy work, so.
Yeah, and the inventory and everything like that, so,
I'm kind of,
I'm not really in favor of that, to be honest with you. I mean,
We used to rotate. I mean,
we just-
one month it would be one guy's, the next month it'd be another guy's or gals. And y'all shared the labor.
and that was specifically brought up during that interview process, that was, and it was almost like a volunteer to do that. Or didn't mind doing that, so
That's the one bringing up the stipend.
yeah.
Other
Okay.
than there.
But I think it's a general consensus that no, we're not interested in that, so.
Okay, got you the bridge report there. I did get an answer back from the IA last week. I emailed them again. Basically, it was they're shorthanded and they don't have time to look at it right now. My suggestion is, because we got the bridges down there that have been inspected since 2004. My suggestion is let's go ahead and get them inspected. It costs us about $50,000. But if we don't, and we do have a bridge failure, that'd be a huge, huge problem.
So they don't have time to deal with this issue.
They're shorthanded. That's what I was told.
Is there any of their other agencies that can handle this, or is just they're just shorthanded and they just can't handle it? They don't have documentation. I mean,
Correct. All of the above.
so
Again,
so we would incur roughly $50,000 to have bridges inspected that we have not been inspected in the past because we were under the assumption, and based on the paperwork that we have,
yes.
they were not our responsibility.
Correct. And again, I talked to Michael Mayer Meyers again this morning, just to verify the price that he gave us about 6 months ago.
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to send a letter to the tribe, Road and Bridge, and say, we'll meet you halfway. We'll pay for half of it. And then once we have a ruling from BIA, then if they are ours, we'll reimburse you for that. But at this point in time, because they're unknown, we believe it's a safety factor, and therefore, we'd like to work with you, and we'll meet you halfway. That's my suggestion.
I would agree with that, and then let's talk about a contingency plan if they do not do that. If they say, no, we're not gonna do it. If they say, no, we're not gonna do it, then
We're gonna have to have them inspected, but if we have some that are, once they're inspected, that are not safe for traffic, we're gonna have to do
just shut them
something.
down.
I propose it.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's not safe. And again, three of those are on 158 road. Yeah.
Because like you say, it's a huge liability issue for the county.
It is. They do nothing.
Be a huge liability for everybody involved in this, not
That's
just
true.
All right, I'll get this letter. You want me to go ahead and, Michael, when I talked to him this morning, I asked the time frame. He said it'd probably be like in April or May that he could get around to do it. So I'll get the letter together and send it then, and probably just go ahead and schedule with him to proceed.
But go ahead and schedule with him, I would say, and get the letter to them.
to the engineering firm that's gonna do the work.
Well, and to the tribe.
And then include in that you've been trying to get this straightened out with BIA, and that's not coming, you can't get it done, and we believe that it needs to be done sooner than later, so therefore would you be willing to meet us halfway on the cost of
Is
that?
that something Todd needs to pull that together, or?
I think you can, as Public Works Director, it's not a legal document, you're just asking them, we're gonna get a bid for engineering, would you be willing, we believe that it's probably gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000. Once we know what the actual bill is, once it's done, would you be willing to pay for half of it? Yeah.
It's pretty reasonable.
I think so.
If they decline, we'll go ahead and then we'll deal with it from there. We'll go another route.
All right. I did check a little bit on LTAP for classes we were to host it here. They want a commitment of people that would be doing the class because they don't want to put the class on if only 2 or 3 people can show up. I have a weed meeting next Wednesday. A lot of the road and bridge people are at those meetings because they're involved with the weed department also. So I'm going to ask those counties that are there if they have anybody interested to contact me, and that way we kind of get a number if we do have people interested. Right now, I think the closest class is Platte City, not Platte City, Park City.
So would it be
there are ways out there?
Would it be your responsibility then to get commitment from other counties for their employees to be here? Is that your responsibility if we're hosting?
I would leave that on LTAP.
LTAP would have to get those commitments. Is there a fee involved?
There's usually, it's like $65 per person to do the class.
Do we have employees that will be going to that?
Yes.
That was a question that came up in the meeting we had here a few weeks ago, and so we do send our blade operators to these to get them technical training.
Yep.
How to run blade, how to blade a road.
I had a lady call in about Old 75 highway down here by Naughty Pine. Want us to reduce the speed. I wouldn't let it reach 45 miles an hour. That road isn't a bad speed. If people are going too fast, then say she needs to contact the sheriff's department. You want to stop on that?
There's coming out of Naughty Pine from the pumps, there is plenty of visibility both ways.
Well, I think maybe she lives right in there because she's talking about putting children display signs up. I said we can't do that. I said, you can put it out in your yard and stay out in the right away, but technically we can't do signs like that.
45 is what we have on our county roads,
Right. Well,
our gravel roads.
55.
Yeah.
Unposted.
Unposted. It's 55, but
Anyway, just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Yep.
Our dust control, we were kind of looking at that a little bit too. Our suggestion, we've got two options.
that's what I And you did take Spring Road off that list.
Yes. Last year we had, what we had proposed for 26 was 30 miles. We don't have the budget for that, it's cut back. So we took out 222 Q4R, 222 R to T. Two options we have here is option one, we don't have to decide to get to the miles that we need for the cost. We can either get rid of T 166 to 142, or option two is go with these four up here above and cut those back to half rates, and then we can keep the T 166 to 142 on there. We've got to cut miles back somewhere. Last year we sprayed 153,120 gallons. Just kind of estimated the price with about 53,000 gallons less we have for this year. We were kind of leaning toward option two, where we got some of those roads back to half rate.
Yeah, especially where T has been sprayed with full rate for several years.
Right, and the ones that we're talking about half rate is out here at the corner, at Soldier, which is, you're going 3-4 mile down,
Right.
mile across, 3-4 mile back. That there's not a lot of houses on that road anyway, just the one there, I believe, on F. And I believe if any going east and west, I don't think there's any up north, back up to the highway. So Speech doesn't have a half rate, it'd probably be okay because it's been sprayed the last 2 years also.
Well, we've talked about, how it's been sprayed for several years, then cutting it back half rates. I think this would be a good time to experiment with that and see how it does. So that would be my recommendation, is do the half rate, the option two.
Fine with that.
So we've got to get an idea, and we kind of know what we're dealing with then for, years to come.
And that's assuming I was basing these prices on
Yes,
kind of what last year was.
Yeah, we might have to come back and adjust some more. So.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Same with chip and seal. We kind of went over stuff this morning on it. We're going to cut some stuff there too. We're going to bring that to you this morning. But after Joe, myself, and Matt talk, we want to go drive the roads today, right after this, and then want another idea for next week.
Okay.
And then also, I still think we're going to, I'd like to have more conversation about doing the leveling and 3 miles of that within the county.
We're going tomorrow.
Yeah.
So just kind of take a look and say, okay, we all agree that this would be a mile, this would be a mile, this would be a mile.
We're supposed to meet over there at 1 o'clock tomorrow, so if you're
You said leave 10:30.
leave around 10:30.
Okay.
Unless we're going to grab some lunch. So
6 1/2 does the other, whenever you're gonna leave, let me know.
All right, I think it's still probably about 10:30.
Okay. Perfect.
We got, probably a decent cost, what it is, for the hand quarry, with rock price.
Okay.
We got that nailed down.
Looks like the low bid's gonna be the Oklahoma outfit,
Okay.
I believe. Contact.
One thing too is contact, we always, their bands and tubes fit together better.
I was gonna ask you which one that was.
Yes, but contacts.
I'd make a motion, we approve the low bid contact out of Oklahoma, purchase, tubes.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to purchase bids from the low bidder, Contact Engineering Solutions out of Oklahoma for bands and tubes in the amount of $65,438.13. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You guys realize that is for our inventory, there are still a few special jobs out there that you guys can be adding on to.
Yep.
The excavator, when they were working on it the other day, when they were replacing the boom, they noticed that the one cylinder for the, bucket, had a ding in it, so they took it off and took it down to get it repaired. It's causing problems later, so we don't have that back yet.
That wasn't the cylinder that was bent though.
I don't think it did, so I don't know.
It was,
You reported last week that there was one that was bent. Was that the one?
I think that's the same.
Okay.
It's saying they thought maybe it was bent, but you found out.
Oh, maybe the wrong bent.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Yep. The other thing I got here is the trees that we cut last week. Comparing the 206 R to R4, 218 T4 to view, T4 110 or 210 to 218, 190 U to W, 105 U4, and 106 U4 also. I think that's all I have.
Do you know, Scott, can quarries provide you both hams, mid states, absent? Can they provide you with any kind of hardness test that they've done on their gravel?
I'm sure they can.
I'd like to, if they could, I'd like to have that. That was a question that was again brought up in that meeting last week.
Whether they were to KDOT standards.
Yeah, talking about hardness. So if you could get that report from each of the quarries that we deal with, so that'd be 4, I believe, one out of just outside of western Jackson County. Is it Otter?
You've got, well, it's the main quarry, you got, Gardner down there in St. Mary's, you got Soldier, you got, Mid-States, and you got Cummings.
Yeah, I'd like, if they would be willing to provide that testing for the commissioners, that'd be good.
Yep. Because that was one of the questions, one of the complaints we had. People didn't think that the rock was hard enough, so.
I did not catch any of it. Way too fast.
And then on that, some other things that came out of there, per mile cost on ditching. Was one of the questions.
Just for rock or for labor?
Labor and rock and everything for the, so you can,
We'd have to.
yeah, if you can come up with that for next week.
Break it out both ways. I mean, labor's labor, they're gonna be here, whether one way or the other. So, to me, material cost gives me a better idea of what we're spending on a road. You know, the labor thing,
It's
they're
a,
gonna be
it's a
blazing away
voice one way or
somewhere.
another, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Uh, Then I had a person talking about M Road, has not been touched for quite a while. So we need to,
Highway.
yeah, so we need to get on that. And then, yeah, no, I understand frozen, yeah.
you're talking about from 16 north?
Yeah.
And that was, yeah.
And then I'd like to have an executive session for non-elected personnel, employee performance.
Who we included?
We're including Scott, Joe, Chrissy, and us.
Okay. I mean, we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel, for a period of
10 minutes, I'll do it.
10 minutes,
If we need to.
starting at
9:40.
9:40. Reopen back in this location. For the matter of employee performance.
Employee performance.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for 10 minutes for non-elected personnel, employee performance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Yep, we're good.
Sounds like you're good.
Thank you. Rowdy, can I slip Amy in so she can go back upstairs?
Oh, sorry.
No, you need me, so, Dave.
Are you sure?
Nothing else?
Okay, I just want to double check, make sure. Thank you.
Good morning, how are you? Brought you guys copies, so you can see what I'm talking about. These are 3 different quotes, 2 different products though. The one on top is the easiest one that at work, that's the new company that took over NCS. As you know, that's our IT provider. If you remember, last year when we were forced to upgrade to Windows 11, we only did the machines that wouldn't upgrade on their own.
And what is this, what are these bids for?
The one, I can get to that, the one on the top. The one on the top is the only one for new laptops. So this would replace 4 laptops that are 6 years old. They were not replaced last year. They did upgrade to Microsoft 11, but they are 6 years old and they're running slightly slow. Because our contract with NCS was for 22 machines. We had the hopes last year when we got rid of 5 desktops and went to only laptops with docking stations that our monthly bill would be a little cheaper. But so far we haven't got them to do that since our contract is for 22 machines. We are working with them to try to get a global 4-county contract covering all 4 counties. That would decrease, obviously, the number of machines we have across the board. We would prorate that bill out to each county then. But at the time being, we are paying still monthly services for 22 machines, even though we don't have that many. So our plan would be to replace 4 of the clerk's laptops with new laptops. They are 6 years old. They're ready for an upgrade. However, we would then keep 2 of those laptops to use for purposes in the courtrooms for Zoom witnesses. Currently, we only have 1 laptop doing that. We don't have one in each courtroom. And sometimes now, since we don't have extra laptops, because in the past when the clerks had desktops and laptops, we would just pull one of the clerk's laptops, take it into the courtroom and use it as needed. But since now that clerk is now using that laptop at their desk, we don't have that capability. So we would keep 2 of these older laptops to use them for the purposes of Zoom in the courtroom. It wouldn't cost us any more monthly, at least currently is the point I'm trying to make, to keep them because we're already paying for contracts for the licensing, for the monthly monitoring for those machines, even though we don't have that now. So I'm asking for your approval for 4 new Dell laptops in the clerk's office, including labor, and the cost is $6,720.08. And that would
just come out of,
that would come out of my office equipment budget.
and you got plenty in there to cover that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll move to approve.
Okay. All right, it's been probably moved and seconded to approve Net at Work for the purchase of 4 laptops. This is, and the one is the next business day for the second amount
That's the
there's 4.
shipping, I believe.
This is a shipping, okay. And then 12 non-contract hourly services in the amount of $6,720.08. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Yep.
Question. So Net at Work is a company that bought out,
Network, not network computers. Yeah, network computer solutions.
okay, and they're a nationally owned company. Do we know anything about them? Who owns them? Where their headquarters is?
I believe their headquarters is
U.S. owned, foreign owned?
New York, but other than that, I don't have it.
Are you planning on staying with them?
Currently
For
they
IT
are
work.
because they know our systems, they know a lot of court systems, and they know what they're doing. We don't have any problems with them currently. We're still working on getting our new server that we've been working on for a few months now installed. It's all ready to go. We're just waiting for a break in the court schedule to get it converted over.
That might be a question. to
Same
ask them.
employees, so they're all
Good one.
techs we've already worked with.
Yeah, just curious who owns them.
Okay, I can try to find out.
Yeah, that'd be great, thanks.
Okay.
Gardner.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say sign. Motion carried. You just need my signature on here.
If that's what I need, then that'd be fine.
I'll look at my clerk and see.
Okay, say I have no idea if it's yours, mine, or whose, but as long as it's the signature, I'm sure they don't. And then the other 2 bids are for the sound system in the small courtroom. We actually got 4 bids total. I didn't bring you the other 2 because they are quite a bit more than these 2, and I believe you've already seen one of them, the SciTech bid that was the original one that came down. That was one of them, and just to let you know, we haven't heard back from them after asking them to make some modifications. So, not really interested in using a company that's not going to provide good customer service to begin with.
And so you got a bid from Revive that you wanted with the new equipment.
Right, so you'll see there's quite a bit of difference in price. And so we have thoroughly gone through these bids. And we have also spoken with both companies. And we feel that whichever bid you want us to go with, which we have a feeling we know which way that is, that either system will work fine and do what we want it to do. One of the key differences you'll see is that in the McClellan bid, they have a volume controller. We currently don't have that in either courtroom, and we don't necessarily feel like we need it. That is one of the key differences in the bids. Revive.
That's a touchscreen control. Which, why are they, I know that that was in the original bid.
There's actually 2 of them.
Why do they consider that to be a big deal in this? I don't quite understand that.
Well, because their thought is that you would want to control the volume in the courtrooms, which I understand that to an extent also, but we've never had an issue with needing to control the volume in our courtroom. The only time that it gets a little bit loud sometimes is on Zoom, and you can actually control that with the volume controller on the computer.
Right.
But as far as like just sitting in the courtroom, if someone whose voice naturally was
Yeah,
a little loud or something, you know, we might move the microphone away from them a little bit or something like that. But we've never really had an issue needing to control that sound. And in that small courtroom particularly, it's so small. We don't feel like that's necessary.
Yeah.
We did tell McClellan that we didn't feel like it was necessary, and they felt like it was.
Also, McClellan does not break out their labor costs.
Correct.
And I like the fact that the other company, I mean, they at least break out their labor costs for hardware.
Yeah. So, like I said, we have spoken with them. You'll see like on page 4 from the McClellan bid, there was a change log of a few things we asked them to change on the 18th, trying to get the bids a little more apples to apples. We do feel like both bids are shelf products, so in 5 years, Revive is out of business. If we go with them, we feel like somebody can come in and
They're
service
standard.
it, right? They don't build their own products. One of the other bids we got was from a company in Kentucky, and that's literally what they do. They do courtroom sound. They build their own systems, and so their quote was quite a bit higher than these were. And part of that's because also they do build their own equipment, so they would be a good fit, knowing that if they went out of business in 5 or 10 years, someone else could come in and probably service that. I don't know, what other questions do you have for me regarding the bids?
Did the judge have an opportunity to look at these, talk to
He's
people with
actually
you?
the one that did the calling and talked to them.
I appreciate that. So he feels comfortable with,
He does. He was a little bit unsure initially of the Revive bid, if it would do what we needed it to do. But he did call Derek and spoke with him, and they had a good conversation regarding what we wanted to do, will
think
do
it's-
this.
yeah, I
and-
think it's important that he feels like it would, because he does play a factor.
Sure.
So the
Yep.
microphones that you are wanting to reuse, are those gonna be able to be done? Because I see we still have one mic, which I think that was what he was talking about, they needed one more mic.
Correct.
So you're
others
gonna
can
continue
We
to
will-
use the other 4, okay?
Yep, we will reuse the 4 microphones and the speakers
Okay,
that are already in the small courtroom with this system. The one concern we had is did it have the capability of 8 channels, and would it take the Zoom, would it take the audio from Zoom and produce it over the speakers, and as well as have a channel of its own to go into our recording equipment? And that was one of our questions, and they answered that and positive that it would be able to do that.
Good.
okay.
One of the other key differences is a piece of equipment that I believe is called a bridge, but Revive feels like we do not need that since we don't have like an eagle eye camera of the courtroom, and we only use the one on the bench. He said that's used more for like when you do have a room that has like an eagle eye camera and you gotta bring that video through there. We don't have that, so we didn't feel like that was necessary ahead.
Okay.
All right, so what we have before us is a bid from Revive IT in Manhattan for the upgrade of the small courtroom upstairs in the amount of $14,066.80. And this is for the sound system that is, how old? It's still running Windows what?
XP.
Windows XP, yeah. So we're trying to upgrade that, and we also have a bid from McClellan Audio Video Lighting out of Wichita in the amount of $25,432.25. It would be my recommendation, if the judge and you have reviewed this, to go with the low bid from Revive, and I would entertain a motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the Revive IT bid in the amount of $14,066.80. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So then our plan moving forward would be to get with Revive, find out what the timeline is, obviously, to get that equipment and get it installed, and then we'll work with Pat to find a time when hopefully we're a little less busy in that courtroom and make sure Memorial Hall is available for backup, and we have a court reporter available to cover that in Memorial Hall for, we're hoping a 2-week time span. That might be pushing it a little bit, but we will then coordinate with Pat. I know he said he talked to Riley Electric. We just need a couple outlet and a couple network drops in there, then to flip that courtroom and move everything to the other side. And then, just getting the carpet laid.
Are you gonna handle coordinating that?
Pat and I will work together, yeah, figure out
Perfect.
what weeks will work, when can we get in there, get it done. Memorial Hall is being available, we have a court reporter, et cetera, et cetera. So, all right,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you guys.
All right, Rowdy. I appreciate you switching, Rowdy. Get her back up, get her work upstairs.
First, thanks for giving me the time to talk today. I wanted to just stop and inform you guys of an opportunity, I think a great opportunity coming up on March the 4th at 7 p.m. at 277 Pennsylvania Avenue. Jackson County residents will gather to discuss all things Jackson County. I'm here to formally ask you guys for your attendance. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. There's a lot of stuff, you guys know this, and I know this, there's a lot of division, there's a lot of things going on. I think getting together and talking is a wonderful thing.
What's the address of the?
277 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I heard.
Yep.
Is that the church?
It's a church, yep. It's
Yeah,
all,
everybody showed up.
yeah, it's all been booked, it's a done deal. I think the ideal situation would be just to give you guys an opportunity to listen and give the consumers and the citizens an opportunity to listen to. Right? Or outside of the procedural requirements that go on in this room and a lot of the meetings that we have. So we're going to do it either way. But again, I would like to formally ask you guys to come and sit and listen. I guess, so really the only other thing for me to do is just ask you to come.
Sure.
And we're going to do it either way.
Yeah. No, I plan on being there. And it just, so you guys understand, I have had a conversation prior to this meeting with Rowdy about this. I said, I think the best thing you could do is get on the agenda, come here and ask the question. Rowdy has taken care of everything else. He even is kind enough, I believe, to moderate it. And any questions that may appear that there could use some research, he's going to try to let us know that ahead of time so that we can have information. I personally think it's a good opportunity to have a discourse.
I do too.
Ravi, did you see a time?
7 p.m.
And I know you said that outside of the normal constraints of this, but it will not be outside the normal constraints of this as far as if the three of us are there, it's still going to have to be, Christie will have to be there to take minutes and everything because it's still going to
That's not really what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
But there is a difference.
Yes.
Because this will not be a formal meeting, no decisions will be made. So therefore, to me, it's not any different than being at a KAC opportunity or at the Banner Lake for the,
I don't agree with that. I think that
and that's fine.
I think
We're
it's
not
still
making
an open
decisions.
meeting, but we'll have to have Christie there to take minutes.
That's perfectly
So,
fine.
yeah.
But the agenda will be controlled by the audience. They're the ones that are going to ask the question.
Sure.
But what I mean by the constraints is you got 3 minutes to talk. We have to stay on this particular topic. That kind of stuff.
And
It'll just be an open conversation.
And so prior to this meeting, we will get legal definition of this because it's not a meeting. It is not we're not going to open the meeting. We are not going to do any of those things. We're going to have a conversation with the community. And so we'll get a legal definition from maybe Jay before he leaves.
Yeah. And
So-
like I say, I think that you're mistaken on that because we've had to have Christie out at Road and Bridge when the three of us were out there for
But
that.
we were having a conversation with
Employees.
employees.
Yes.
And we may or may not have made decisions out there.
No, we did not. That was for safety
But
meetings.
we
so-
could have made those decisions.
Sure.
We'll get it.
Yep.
It's
So it is for us to sit in front of everyone and then they
Yeah.
ask us the questions or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes.
regular town hall.
It's a regular town hall kind of meeting. I'm gonna ask for questions up front. Some questions will come at the time. When we're there, I'll do my best to moderate them. I will make every statement I can make in social media posts and otherwise that to be civil, and let's come together as one people. And this is what we're suffering from, and not just here, the whole country. I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that. I will reach out to political leaders on both sides of the aisle to get their concerns and their questions. I'll do my very best to do those kind of things. I think it's healthy, and I think they should happen all the time. So we're gonna do it. So again, really the last thing I need to know is when you guys can.
As far as right now, I don't have anything on my calendar. I don't know if you have anything on your calendar, so we're.
I think so.
Excellent. We're gonna get to the planning stuff, and I'll try to do my best to keep you guys updated.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Yep. Hey Levi, that was a good conversation. I hope we have.
What time? What time?
7 p.m. All right. See you.
Kate coming down? Or is she gonna come down since Todd's not here?
Should be.
So, of the correspondence, the only thing that we really probably need to take action on is the request for funds for the JRL, junior reading.
United Way.
Yeah, the library.
It's the United Way through the library, and that book, and they're both going together to provide the books to every elementary student, pre-K through 5 in the county. Like I said, I read it last year, and the kids were super excited to get their books. They, of course, I have 3 actually had 4 granddaughters at the time, but they were in the elementary system, and all of them were just tickled to death to get them, and of course, had to come home and read to grandma and grandpa after they got out and came home, so.
It listed them, the amounts.
So, yeah, there's bookworm for $200, thinker $500, doing it's $1,000, and academic $2,000, and rocket scientist $4,000.
So could that come out of, since it's, I don't know, which fund could that come out of, Christie?
I think it could come out of parks, the alcohol.
That's
Where
where
the
the funds, the alcohol fund or the parks fund or which one?
What do you think, the alcohol fund?
Okay.
What's currently in their position? I don't think this sheet shows it.
Currently in there, I've got 173. Now, what do we have out there that's already encumbered?
The alcohol fund has
Am I looking correct?
$91,470.
Well, that's the beginning cash. Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong line. I was on the- yeah.
Did we do it last year?
I don't think we did it last year because I don't think they included every elementary school. I don't believe. I think that they
Oh,
didn't
it was just,
do.
okay.
I don't think Royal Valley was included last year. I don't remember what, but this year they're including them all, so. Since they are including them all, I'd recommend we go ahead and do it. But you guys look at the amounts and see what you think.
And so, what is the unencumbered amount? Oh, you're still working on it.
We've got $91,470.
That's separate from the parks, the other third.
Yes.
I move that we do the 4,000, buy the books and opportunity.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that we do the
Rocket scientist.
$4,000 amount to the Jackson County Junior Leader Reader Program through the United Way. We call that the United Way. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So will you send
So
them
Alex,
that?
just so the alcohol, you're familiar with the alcohol fund and why we use that. And
Yeah.
or anybody in here, why we use that fund, and that's a good opportunity to use that money for something like that.
Yep.
Where otherwise we just don't.
And I'm glad they included all three
Schools, right.
schools this year. They were able to do that. So will you send them our logo and the whole 9 yards? All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, we'll wait on Kate. I think that's the only issue from the correspondence that we needed to forward. Take any action on. Fair Association waiver. There's the sign. So we should be good to- You don't need the envelope in this one. And just so you know, in case anybody hasn't looked at your email yet, we just got an email from Brian Beckman from the Conservation District. Their annual meeting is Wednesday, February the 11th. That's dinner's at 6 p.m. and then the business meeting and everything is after that at 7. And they're asking if we are going to be in attendance. I plan on going. are you?
I know you.
Great. Wait till Christy gets off the phone and hit you up for whatever you
Huh?
I said, we'll wait till Christy gets off the phone and hit you up for whatever you have. You have a good week last week?
Busy.
Makes them go by faster, right?
Yeah. Need more time.
Not enough hours in the day.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. A written this one today.
What's that?
Well, it's room. It's from yours.
I don't remember.
I wrote down. For this afternoon.
I think you're right. No, that, not you say that.
Well, it's supposed to be this afternoon. She stayed on her.
No. Okay. All right, what you got, Kate?
Well, last week, Tara came in and wanted me to be on the agenda for job descriptions or something.
Yeah, you've gotten all of those from, as far as for like the zoning administrators that we've seen.
Oh, we asked for pros and cons, didn't we?
Of pros and cons of keeping
Right.
that individual in the office versus having them outside the office. I don't know.
Yeah.
Feedback, these are for people's job descriptions.
Okay. Kate's got one of these.
That's just one for each job description, so that's.
Oh, one
No,
for each
they
job
all-
description.
they all
Okay,
stick
okay.
together, okay.
And that other one is just a mock budget for a zoning department. So you kind of have an idea.
I started at the whole mark, like, worked down. What have you been doing? All right, so for that one.
Okay, these are appraiser file.
So, is this something that you're wanting to pursue this year?
I think that was kind of the consensus, yes.
That's what we talked about, was finding that person, getting them hired this year.
Is there a specific reason why to push for this year instead of waiting until like the 2027 year?
Because it sounds like you're extremely busy, and I think the sooner we just go ahead and get this done, the better off things will be. I mean, is there any reason for waiting?
I mean, I have another person in there we can maintain for this year, because we don't really have the budget for it, right, for 26?
So if it's outside of your office, it would have its own budget.
Right,
So we would figure out where we can come up with that funding.
okay. So I put together some things to think about, then on the budget line items and all of that. And job duties. You mentioned, I don't know if it was in a meeting that I saw a video on, but we had talked about neighborhood revitalization and the zoning office initiating that. I don't think that's the zoning office place to do that because that's on the appraisal side. So just like we would do with the cities or like Holton, they would come in for neighborhood revitalization, they would have their permit through Holton and all that, and then we would proceed from there. So I don't know how that would happen with the zoning office taking the lead on that. Because we're maintaining all of the records on neighborhood revitalization, and that's on the appraisal side, not the zoning side.
I guess what I mean by initializing it is if I walk in to get by permit. This is just one more piece that, hey, revitalization is available. Here's how it works. Here's the paperwork on it.
I mean, yeah,
End of subject.
yeah, the paperwork can be down there.
That's what I'm talking about. Other than that, then any of that information as it's brought back in.
Would have to come to us.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so does that help? I mean, explanation wise.
Yeah,
I just think,
just so people know that they can come to our office directly for that it doesn't have to start.
but
It's not even that they
typically,
can-
but
they can-
typically if somebody's getting revitalization, they're getting
A packet for the compliance and
Right.
and all that.
and so that was just part of it. And I think for them to be able to have the time to spend with somebody, because sometimes it's not the easiest to understand and really walk people through it. It wouldn't slow you guys down in your office. They would be able to spend some time with them going, do you understand commercial versus residential, what that means for you, how it works, those types of things. Give people the opportunity to ask all those questions. But once it's filled out, you'll have your address on it and the information will be sent to the back.
Yeah, definitely, we would make sure too that they understand the process when they come in with that application as well, so.
And there's actually some things, there's some changes that I would like to see us maybe talk about in the future with revitalization, with a tweak to it that maybe we could make that would help clear up some confusion.
This is Christine. Bethany comes at 10. Can I tell them what it's about? Be back, okay. Mary Savage would like to put on the agenda item, please.
Who?
Mary Savage.
I'll leave that up to the chair.
If this is something that she needs to take up with her direct supervisor, I just assume her take it up with the direct supervisor.
You said in here, one of the things listed is a map printer, meaning a large map printer.
Yeah.
Is there any reason you can't share that? You have one in your office, that could be a shared item.
Typically the zoning does all the land, the maps and all of that. And typically they've got, in a lot of counties, there's a GIS department that does all the mapping.
We're not that big. So is there, let me ask you this.
There's no reason for us to have it.
So that's-
So we could move
So
it.
it could be.
Yeah, I mean, she's saying here, office supplies available.
Okay.
Yeah,
So to do that in your office to the
Yes.
other office.
We can move it.
That's that's the way I read it.
Yes.
Okay.
So many maps that other departments may need that.
Right.
Road and Bridge likes to have some of that stuff.
Yep. We have a number of filing cabinets that are loaded with old building permits that are permanent file. So they would have to
How long do we have to retain those?
permanently,
Forever.
yes, it's a
Forever.
permanent file, yeah.
Okay, but some of those, if they're, they don't have to be stored in that office. We
They
have-
can be,
Yeah.
very easily.
Okay,
I mean, there are 4.5 large filing cabinets,
okay,
easy storage. I mean,
okay.
we store them in our office, so.
Yeah, that could be moved.
Yep.
So as far as that, is that something that could be scanned and have a digital record of?
Well, we were talking about, doing a database of that, the permanent, the hard copies have to be kept.
Right.
So if they decide just to go digital, I think that might be an option, but those records have to be kept.
So, go down to the salt mine or something like that, if you scanned them all and then they were in a digital file.
They don't take up a whole lot of space at this point.
Okay.
So,
Currently, we have the space being rented down the school.
no, in my office. Yeah,
No,
everything is,
meaning,
yeah.
they could go down to that storage that we're paying.
I don't foresee that someone would need to utilize that storage for them. I think there's enough space in most offices that wouldn't be a problem, but that.
Okay. So I want to hear your view on the separation out of the duties and everything, how you feel about that, what you think that it would look like if we did hire the zoning administrator.
I think it's gonna probably be a process. I mean, we're still gonna maintain what we're doing now, because we still have to go out and do data collection on the new buildings and all of that. So, I mean, our processes it's just gonna eliminate the zoning compliance, the zoning meetings. If you're wanting to redo regulations, we would take that out of our office.
Right. I mean, because right now with all of your duties, you don't really have time to sit down and do that because, we've talked before that is something that needs to be done, but you just don't have the time to do it with all of your other duties with the appraisal side.
So when I can delegate, I delegate.
Sure.
Like the packets and all that here lately, other people are feeling comfortable, like they can put the packets together for the zoning board members. That's why I get a lot of overtime around this time of year. Why I have overtime, because there's the appraisal side that needs to be done. So if I'm taking off for zoning, right, then
yeah,
I have to do the other as
sure.
well. So yeah, I think one person, a zoning administrator, I think that's doable. I would say I may hold off, this is just my opinion, I would hold off on an administrative assistant until that person gets in and really works through it, to know if it's gonna need to be a part-time person or a full-time person, to really understand. But I think a full-time person in that position is definitely a good option.
Okay.
Separating it, we've worked to merge it, to merge the systems to make it work well. I think access to Orion and all that, and if we have access to building permits, I think it can work. Instead of going down and bugging that person for building permits, we can just access the file for our offices, for
Right.
instance. So,
Okay.
I think it all can work. It's just gonna take a little time to
Sure. Okay. Do we have any other questions for Kate? The main thing is we're gonna have to work through and see where we can find the money for the position right off the bat. So. All right, thank you. Get a response? do you have for us?
So I am, it's been a while since I've been in front of you guys, so I wanted to kind of provide you guys with an update and update you on one of the things I'll be asking for in my 2027 budget, just with the needs of the office. So one, in the last year, being county attorney, it's become very clear that I think 3 full-time attorneys are needed in my office. 1, for our caseload, but 2, also, the district court has now started scheduling hearings with multiple judges at the same time. And with current staff, me and Amy, we don't have enough people, I guess, to staff both courtrooms at the same time. For instance, this morning, we had a 9 a.m. felony hearing, but also misdemeanor traffic, which our interns can cover. Amy covers some of those. So we had 2 attorneys in 2 separate courtrooms, and then we're expected to have first appearances by 11 or 1 o'clock, but we don't have any attorneys in the office that can charge the cases that come over the weekend to get them ready for first appearances. So that's become an issue. From what I've learned, just being here for 1 year, prior to last year, there wasn't a lot of times where there were 2 different courtrooms going at the same time where the county attorney's office was needed in both courtrooms. That's changed, which is an adjustment that we have taken on. It just doesn't leave much flexibility for my office at all. So there are, every other Thursday now, there are misdemeanor traffic hearings from 9 to noon. And then there's our felony court docket, which is from 9 to noon, and then our evidentiary hearings are in the afternoon. Me and Amy both handle several felony cases. So right now, I don't have an attorney to staff the misdemeanor traffic docket. My interns have been doing that, but if something goes wrong, they can't handle the case, they have to just basically continue it out to another hearing to allow me or Amy to get in there and handle it. So we've run into a few scheduling issues where we just don't have the staff to cover what needs to be covered. And, you know, from my perspective, I want qualified people in the courtroom at all time if my office is being, is a party.
Represented, yeah.
If that makes sense. I appreciate our interns. They've been really great to help us prep our misdemeanor traffic docket, and they handle what they can. They've gotten a lot of good experience, I think, handling stuff on their own, and then they do handle some like misdemeanor trials or traffic trials in the afternoons, which is great experience for them. Right now we have 3 interns, and one of them has their certification where he can actually appear in court. So that's been super helpful. The problem is they also have law school, so they're only working about 15, 20 hours a week max, 1 to 2 days. So when they're not there, it just creates some gaps that we need to fill. So in my 2027 budget, I would like to request funding for a 3rd attorney position. I know historically there has been 3 attorneys in the county attorney's office. When I took over though, just with the budget I had, and the salary range that's competitive with other counties, I felt like it was more important to increase the current salaries of the 2 positions that were there, and then try and get by with interns. But at this point, I don't think that is a long-term solution for us. So my request would be, and I'll give you the numbers here in a second, but 2027, we do have a potential intern that may be interested in the position. She wouldn't graduate until May of 2027. She wouldn't take the bar until July, and so she would continue to be our intern until she graduates, takes the bar, and then we would hire her on as an attorney in September of 2027. So my 2027 request would be just 4 or 5 months worth of the salary and benefits, and then I would request the full salary starting in 2028. I know that still creates some issues with staffing the courtrooms. The court is aware of our staffing issues and has been working with us when they can. So I think it is something that we don't need immediate. We don't need an immediate position, and I know coming here asking you guys for a full salary of an attorney is just a lot. And we have been making do, but I think just caseload wise, long term, I think it's a better solution for the county. Just to give you guys numbers, and I know you guys have heard this before, but in 2025, for example, there's 4 counties in our district, in our judicial district. Wabunsee County, they had 112 criminal filings with 1 hired attorney, 654 traffic filings. Potawatomi County had 192 criminal filings, and so criminal would be misdemeanor or felony. 634 traffic filings, and they had 3 full-time attorneys. Jefferson County had 190 criminal filings and 408 traffic filings, and they had 3 full-time attorneys and 1 part-time attorney. And then Jackson County, we had 443 criminal filings and 1,206 traffic filings with only 2 attorneys. So criminal cases are what takes up a majority of our caseload time: preparing, prepping witnesses, hearings, evidence. It obviously just takes more time than traffic. So 494 cases between the other 3 counties combined, with 7.5 attorneys to split that, versus 443 cases in Jackson County, which is just 2 attorneys handling. So we're handling more cases, and that just affects our time available for case preparation, the speed at which cases move through the system, our ability to resolve the cases efficiently and give them the time that they deserve. I don't want to be overlooking cases that I shouldn't be because I just don't have the time to do it.
And continuances, and that's just costing potentially us more money,
Yes.
the taxpayer.
Right.
And so,
So-
yeah, I get it.
And Amy has been really great about covering when I need her to cover. We work with each other. We don't have a lot of flexibility. And right now we can't fully staff the 2 courtrooms that we have going if we have a felony docket and me and Amy both have cases in our docket. So,
I think we can't exactly tell Tim to quit arresting people.
I know, yeah, I don't know what his deal is, but, it's just a general expectation, I think, of the court to have a fully staffed courtroom, and that would include attorneys from our office. And then I know last year I came to you guys when I presented for my 2026 budget, the salary ranges for Amy, the assistant county attorney. And I wanted to just bring some numbers to you guys, because when I come to you with my request for 2027 budget, I do want to be competitive with the other counties that are hiring assistant county attorneys. As you guys know, attorneys are, when you're advertising for an attorney position, you're not going to get your general candidate pool of just anybody. You're only getting licensed attorneys who want to be prosecutors, and oftentimes that's not going to be individuals from Jackson County, although one of my interns is very interested in living here and making her home here, which is great, but majority of the time you're going to get candidates from other counties, so you're competing with their attorney budgets and their salaries. I know Amy drives from Topeka, and I know that we have had just historically a lot of turnover because our attorney budgets have not been sufficient to keep people here. So I want to try and work on that. So I did go to the Kansas County and District Attorneys Association Career Center and just printed off just salary ranges for the current open positions. That does include assistant attorney generals, which would be your starting salary for an attorney general, assistant county attorney in Dickinson County, McPherson County, Saline County, and the ranges really are quite higher than you would expect. 88,000 to 120,000, 100,000 to 134, 93,000 to 112. So I think the state is finally catching up nationally with what attorneys, prosecutors make nationally. And I've seen it in recent years. The salary ranges have just gone up, which I think they should, but I wanted to just present that to you guys so you guys have just numbers to consider.
Thank you. Yeah, we deal with the same thing with the sheriff's
Thanks,
department.
Yes.
I mean, we compete with all the counties around us. And so it gets difficult to swap back and forth, and if you're not competitive,
Right.
you're going to lose good personnel.
Yeah.
I think a few years ago, we made the decision to increase their pay significantly and help maybe stabilize that. I think the other thing that people don't realize is when you have turnover in a department, it just costs you more money
Yes.
in time and training
Right.
I think if we can get and/or retain quality employees, wherever that is, well,
It's always a good thing, yes. And I know our interns really seem to like it. I think Amy likes it. I think we just need to stay competitive with the surrounding counties. So in the 2027 budget request, it would be just for the ability to increase her salary and pay another attorney as a competitive salary as well to keep them.
So I've got a request then, would you be willing to talk to the other counties that have county attorneys in the surrounding counties here? I know that, we're talking about Person County and Dickinson County and Saline, which are all considerably bigger than ours.
Yes.
So I'm curious to see what something comparable to our county size would be,
Sure.
I think that would give us a better idea of what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
But another thing to consider too is if we're getting applicants from Shawnee County, we have to, I know we can't stay competitive with Shawnee County, but as close as possible because your candidates are gonna be, a lot of them are gonna be driving from Topeka.
Right.
And I know, just as a deputy county attorney there, I really wanted this job, I was willing to take a pay cut, I love it here, but I'm still at, like $15,000 less than I was in there. Totally worth it for me, but just in general, I know when you're competing with bigger counties surrounding you, you just have to stay, somewhat competitive. I know we can't always compete with Shawnee County, and there's a lot of benefits to working in a smaller county. You get much more experience, you get to do not only felonies, but misdemeanors, seeing, a whole range of things. I know our interns get a lot more experience here because they get to do a lot more than an intern in Shawnee County. So, but yes, I will absolutely find comparatives for counties around our population size or case number size even.
Right, yeah, that's a big thing too, is case number size.
Yeah.
Because of course, the ones that you mentioned are right at our size, but they have a lot less cases, and we all know why.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I know I had talked to you guys when I first started about applying for a victim witness grant, and I do have someone now who's going to help me apply for that grant. And I have heard that it has the ability to have like a 100% match waiver, which means the grant would pay for the full salary and the county would not have to contribute any. I have to obviously double check that. The grant,
that's for 1 year.
it's for 1 year and you reapply every year. And as long as the funds are there, I think you continually get the grant once you're
Is that
approved.
a state?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you send an email to Senator Greg Bowser?
Sure.
Giving him that information, and I think see if he has any ability to advocate for that for your department. I think it would be beneficial to have the numbers you gave as far as caseload from around. Senator Bowser sits on the Judiciary Court.
Okay.
And so I think that would be, he does a phenomenal job advocating for this county and the other counties that he represents, but he's very approachable, so you tell him, I said, to send an email to see if there's anything that can be done.
On the match waiver or the?
On the grant itself, and how, is there anything that he can do to help advocate for that?
Okay, yeah.
In the match, that type of thing.
Sure, I can do that. And so if we were to get that, I think that opens in August, or you apply for it in August and you learn shortly after, that would be just something I would come and ask for a benefits package too, because it would be funded through a grant, but I think then you still have to supply benefits. So that's something I'm hopeful to get this year.
Sure.
We'll see.
Because we've had, in the past, I've had conversations with Brett Steyerkamp and Senator Bowser about the amount of caseload that we handle in this county.
Yes.
And if and especially due to a gambling institution being in this community.
Yes.
And so this may be an opportunity. You could send Francis the same email and just say, hey, is there anything that you can do to help facilitate this and help us out with that? They were going to try to get us some money to offset that from the excess gambling funds, but that never panned But if they could do something along that line, I think they would like to do that.
Sure. And I think that's it. Yeah, so obviously I didn't want to come to you guys when I submit my budget and be like, surprise, I'm asking for a new attorney position and benefits for a victim witness advocate. And so I just wanted to, voice our concerns. But if you guys are ever interested in coming to watch a felony docket or a crazy court case, just let me know and we can give you the dates and times. And then also in my office there is the extra room that we have just for storage. If we were to hire a victim witness advocate, I'd be interested in just finishing that room. I don't know if you guys know what room I'm talking about, but it's like
It's kind of back and to the right.
yes.
Yeah.
And right now we have just storage in there, but I think it could easily be finished. I talked to Jerry about that and Kat, and they said that they really think you just need some drywall carpet and then maybe something with the heating, because I don't think there's heating in there, but there's like a vent. So I'd be interested in maybe getting bids to see how much that might cost to finish and use some of my outlay money to pay for that.
And see if maybe it's something that we can pass for Andy.
Yes.
And if he can do it and maybe remodel it or whatever,
Yeah.
if it's something that he feels like he can handle,
Okay. Yeah, I
maybe
can
an
check.
avenue to go to.
Yeah,
He's got a lot going on with the little courtroom too, coming
Yeah.
up, so.
And then obviously with felony diversions, I know the county brought in more money this year just for felony diversions, so if there's some way to offset, my request today. I know you can't base salaries on
Sure.
on diversions or anything like that, but if there's something else that money could be used towards, I'd be fine with that as well. So
Do you have space for a third attorney?
yes, we do. Right now there's 3 offices on one side. And right now we use one of those offices as our intern office. So we have 3 desks in there, but we would just shift that to one attorney desk. And then if we ever do have interns, like they have a rural externship program for interns where the Washburn actually pays them to come here.
Oh, yeah.
And they're a full-time employee for the summer, but they also get a stipend and we don't have to pay anything. So I'd be interested in continuing the internship program, if they got credit or if it was paid for by Brown.
And you're just making connections.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, you're just making connections to show some of these, law students the smaller town
Yes.
vibe and the smaller town feel, and
Yeah.
look at all you get to handle here. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of them love it here, so it's been
Yeah.
a really good thing. Everybody that we've had so far has really, really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I think it's been eye-opening for them. So, yeah, that's it. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you guys for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you,
We'll
Bethany.
see you at budget time.
Sounds good.
So these are all for mainly the appraiser's office
Yeah,
for
we
about
have
10
so
years.
over all of their jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't think those are on.
And like I say, for this, the information Bethany presented us, I would just as soon see some salary schedules for some closer to us.
Right, these
Our
were
size.
places that had openings.
Yeah. Let's say Saline County,
Right.
McPherson, and Dickinson County even is.
Right.
All right, has everybody read their minutes?
it's about that.
I'm ready.
Okay, if everybody's read their minutes, I'd entertain a motion to approve. Approve minutes of January 2020. Is there any corrections? Anybody see any corrections? Okay, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of January 26th of 2026.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of January 26th, 2026. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I don't believe there was anything else that we had to take action on today. You're going to talk to Aaron about getting the committee openings posted on all of the social media platforms, correct? Okay. Else for Northeast Kansas AAA and Northeast Kansas Multi-Health. Okay. All right. Is there any further business to come before us today? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'd like an executive session for matters of non-elected personnel, including, get those,
Yep.
Move to executive session for purposes of personnel matters of non-elected personnel, for a period of 15 minutes, starting at 10:57. Reopen in this location, commissioners and clerk.
Is there a second? Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for matters of non-elected personnel and employee performance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Okay, come on.
For a second. One moment.
Did you get to meet with your representative?
Nobody showed.
So, go ahead. I'm ready.
Nobody showed for,
None of them came over the reception.
I met with, Greg. I made an appointment. I was there at 7:50. And met with him, 'cause he had to do the 8:30.
That was probably where they were still in the committee meetings. I think it was the Senate that was meeting on the bathroom bill. And because they were supposed to come over and do the question and answer session, that didn't happen, so Jay Hall and
It's like
the
four
head of, the
communications.
big tall head of the League of Municipalities that MCs it every year, and the new mayor was speaking.
I was out there by 11:30.
Yeah, well, they just MC'd a question and answer session themselves, and they were hopeful that somebody would show up, and nobody did, and then there was a few of them popped over to the reception and dinner, but I was looking for Craig or Sean, and nobody ever showed up, so I was gonna talk to them there.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
If everybody's good, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's probably moved second to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.